Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Rundown with Silva. I am Tyler Silva, and today I have a fucking awesome guest and someone I miss dearly. I miss taking the stage with. I miss seeing him perform live. He plays in a band called Reason Unknown. Give it up for my man, Patrick Sexton, everybody.
Hello.
How are you, bud?
I'm doing all right, everything considered.
Everything considered?
Yeah. Jesus Christ, I just want to play a fucking show.
Well, you got a fucking record out.
I do. Nothing left but this.
Dude, this is a really good listen.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
This is awesome. Thank you for bringing me one out, too, by the way.
Of course, man.
When did you guys put this out? Like a month ago now?
No, it was in October.
October?
Yeah.
Dang, it seems like that was a month ago, to be
I know.
honest. Like,
Yeah.
the days just blend together now.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
How long did it take to record it?
We got down on that because we went to LA and recorded at Validus Recordings, which is Ryan Green's studio, and
No way.
Scott Halquist from 10 Foot Pole produced it. And we didn't have we had X amount of money, you know, so it was like fucking we're doing a power session. So we got it all done in like 3 days.
Did you record this last October?
No, it was released last October. We recorded it. We recorded it the September of 19.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys have been working on it for sure.
Yeah, it took a while. And you know, money and vinyl's fucking expensive.
Right.
And you don't have label backing, so
Did it take a while for you guys to like come together and write, or?
one of the tracks on that, Left for Dead, was the first song we had written with our new drummer, Jason, who's not new anymore. He's been in the band almost fucking 4 years. But that was the first one. So it was just a laborious process over the years, you know, and then it was like, okay, we've only ever done full lengths before, and we wanted to get something out with Jason when he was new earlier than we did with Scott, because Scott was in the band for many years before we got anything out. So it's like, fuck it, let's do an EP this time. So we have to write less songs. And so over a couple years, and then saving up money for how expensive this shit is.
Yeah.
So
It's tough too. So like you release in October.
yeah.
This is October of 20?
Yes.
Okay. So that is, when did everything hit? We've been in a lockdown for like 10 months now?
March 16th was
Yes.
the fucking lockdown day
Yes.
of 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had a few months to play out on the record, at least.
Well, no, it wasn't out yet.
It wasn't out yet.
Yeah,
That's
it
right.
wasn't out yet.
Sorry, I'm trying to put together all the timelines because it does take a long time to do something like that. You know, my last EP took like a year, 2 years, or something like that. It took forever. You know,
which is really good, by the way.
Thank you. It's good because you're on it. But, dude, no one's playing shows.
I mean, thankfully, because we want the scene to be alive and not fucking dead when all this shit lifts. But god damn it, I miss it.
I miss it too, man. It's weird. I was talking to Jeremy about this too. But there is nothing better than, even if you're not playing, going to a show and seeing other bands that you play with, like in the audience, or seeing them on stage, like the camaraderie. I just miss so much.
Oh yeah.
It's really weird to see something that big in our lives just go away. And it's like scary gone away.
Oh yeah, and because as musicians, it's fucking who you are. It's a part of you, and if you don't have that, it's like not having your left fucking arm.
That's exactly
you don't know
what it's like.
do.
Yeah. It's definitely like a huge hole in my heart right now.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if it's ever going to be the same too. I mean, or at least for a long time. You know, we were kind of talking about this outside having a cigarette, and we all had our little predictions of when things might happen, when things, you know, how people are going to be. But I'm really curious to see, you know, how many people are going to be kind of afraid, or like all guns, like, let's go.
I think realistically, when it gets full speed ahead again, full of steam, it's not going to be until probably late spring, early summer of next year before people are more comfortable and doing it. And god damn it, that's still another fucking over a year away, man.
No, and not only that, like, I guess we as Arizona have distributed like 1 million vaccines now.
Yeah.
Successfully, but like even then, like that's not shit.
No,
Like,
there's 5 million people in the valley.
yeah, and like that's not shit.
I know.
And who it's available to as well. Like we have a terrible homeless problem. You know, like are they getting vaccinated?
No.
And they're the ones roaming the streets. It's terrible. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I really hope that they haven't been. I mean, I'm sure they have been. I have a buddy that who I want to have on. His name is Robert Thornton. He has a clothing company called Cloud Covered Streets, and he was able to build a trailer with 2 showers or 3 showers and like 2
nice.
washers and dryers, and just he's still going out. But anytime the numbers gets high, you know, he has to back out.
Yeah, of course.
It's tough because that's a huge part of like the way of life in like downtown Phoenix, Tempe, and wherever venues are, there are homeless.
Yeah, and I saw just the legislation just voted here in the state. They just fenced off this like parking lot, this deserted parking lot where the homeless would set up camp and stuff. And now they got nowhere to go. So it's pushing them into the canals and the alleys and the shit like that. And it's like,
You're right.
what the fuck you guys expect? Where are they supposed to go? Leave them the fuck alone.
Yeah. And, you know, I think it's going to be worse in the summer too.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? It's going to be terrible.
Yeah.
It's going to be a really, really, and just with the way that things are going, like people can't pay their fucking rent. People can't find work. It's nuts.
Yeah. We could go into this deeper. I have all kinds of, but
Yeah.
this isn't supposed to be a political show. But
Dude, no,
I'm with you.
It's hard to see. Like no matter which
terrible.
way that you look at it politically, this is hard to look at.
It's very hard to look at.
That's, you know.
That's why I speak like your buddy Cloud Covered Streets.
Yeah.
It's like another great group is the Sidewalk Project, which now has a Phoenix chapter and was started by, I believe, Stacy D from Bad Cop and Soma.
Oh, wow.
Snake Oil, Fat Mike's ex-wife in LA.
Mm-hmm.
And they do great things over there. And here they're really doing some good things here now too. So
What's it been like for your band? I mean,
sometimes it's even hard to get to want to even rehearse. Like we're still trying to rehearse and we're starting to fucking write new songs already.
good.
But it's like sometimes like why
Yeah.
practice what we practicing for, you know? And I hate to say it, I've lost my fucking I've got a writer's block right now. I haven't written any new lyrics in forever and it's pissing me off.
Dude, it's tough when there's nothing new in your life. Right now.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
You know, we came out with a single about the pandemic, and after that, I'm like,
Fantastic
Thank
fucking
you.
song and video.
Thank you, buddy.
God, I love that song.
thank you. Shout out to Austin Esses for the video. But like honestly, after that, I'm like, what the fuck are we gonna do?
Serious.
Like,
Just keep writing, I guess.
I guess, yeah. You know, we're trying to come up with like different approaches of our writing and topics and how we go about them. It's just hard. It's
By
weird.
the end of it, every punk band in Phoenix will release a fucking Sandinista album. We'll all have double fucking records out because
right?
we'll have songs.
Oh man, yeah. It's been wild. Are your bandmates doing all right?
Yeah, for the most part. Actually, we've been pretty lucky as far as jobs and working goes, as we've all pretty much been able to stay steadily employed.
Right.
Yeah, like our bass player Travis, he has a really good, awesome fucking job. Matt's doing well, and Jason's been with our drummer's been with Trader Joe's for years. He's doing well there.
That's good.
And it got a little scary for me there for a while. I was fucking driving Uber Eats because I do construction. And
Oh, wow.
construction just went to shit. And mine and my dad's company is, I was like, fuck, okay, I'll drive Uber Eats, I guess. But luckily, in the last month, it's come back and we're busy as hell again. So
Good.
yeah.
There's a lot of, excuse me, especially with the new marijuana, you know, going rec and stuff.
Yeah.
All these builds, they're looking for contractors.
Yeah.
They're looking for companies to come out and do a bunch of shit, you know.
I'll give them a fucking discount for, little
Yeah.
payment on the other end.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. You know, a lot of things are changing. That no one has extra money.
No, yeah.
And everyone's scared to go outside.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. It's very sad, but it's really good that some of us are keeping going, because I worry about bands that I see falling off now. I mean, or going away. Like
right.
It something about breaking up during this like hurts. It hurts me to the soul when I hear a band didn't make it now.
Well, and yeah, and if they break up during this, they didn't break up on their own terms, like
No.
for their own reasons. It was forced on them, and yeah, it sucks. And not just speaking locally, but like there's a lot of hand to mouth bands, as I like to call them, bands that's how they make their living.
Yeah.
But that's how they make their living.
Like Red City Radio plays all the time. They tour all the fucking time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But a lot of those hand-to-mouth bands, like just ones that just tour regionally or whatever.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
They're done. They're done. There's nothing to do.
Yeah. What do we do? what do we do in the spare time?
I don't know. Masturbate a lot, I guess.
I guess so. I mean, it's great if you can get your band there to help out, but I think one thing that we're just trying to figure out is how to be more creative. Like, did you see FOL's what they shot?
The hot sauce challenge?
Dude, that was fucking awesome.
That was super cool. I thought it was a great idea.
Absolutely fucking creative.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. CJ, can you bring some of that up? I want to look at it a little bit. Yeah, dude, I thought that was great. I'd like to see bands put out more music videos and stuff too. You know,
yeah.
Even singles. I think singles are going to be a really fun way to go for a while.
Yeah, that's funny you bring that up. That's what I was thinking about is what I'm hoping for by the end of the year, like maybe get back in the studio and just release like a 2-song 7-inch or something just to keep fucking something going, you know? And that's what like heard about this coming out in October during the pandemic. The initial response, the people were buying it like crazy. But then for a local band like that shit starts to die off and you got to rely on shows to keep selling your fucking record. And well, you know.
Yeah, it's hard to push a record when you can't, because that's a big way of getting people to listen to. There's people to see you and there's people that are there to see someone else. I mean, it's
right.
There's someone that's never seen you there.
Yeah.
Almost all the time. And
absolutely,
it's definitely I love that first experience when someone likes you. I guess.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
It's fantastic. It doesn't get old.
It does not.
Never. It doesn't matter.
Like get off.
Like we just celebrated 15 years. Can't do anything for it.
Yes, February 1st, right?
February 1st was 15.
That's insane.
Years.
So
yeah.
how does this start? Like, where did it all start?
Okay. So, our original drummer Josh, I had been friends with him for years. He called and he said, "Hey, me and Travis have this thing going with this guy Dan. Why don't you come in and try singing?" Yeah, okay. I hadn't been in a band in a long time at that point. So I went in and Dan's this really good fucking guitar player, but he plays it's not punk, it gets kind of ambient, you know. So I'm listening and I'm writing words while I'm at that first rehearsal, and then I try singing over it. It was just shit that was really hard to sing over. It'd been good for like instrumental beds or stuff, you know, stuff like that. Then I came back again a second time. Then I didn't hear from him. It's like, okay, that's fine. I completely understand. You know, it wasn't my thing. Then Josh calls back and he goes, "Okay, so Dan sold off all of his gear. What do you think about coming in, playing guitar, and me, you, and Travis will start something?" And then it became Reason Unknown.
Wow.
Yeah. And then 15 years later, this.
And it's still just going strong.
And it's still me and Travis OGs, and Josh quit a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where'd you guys first start playing?
Rehearsing?
Well, playing out. Let's go with like playing out.
Oh, fuck, man. Our very first show was at a coffee house in downtown Glendale in the fucking winter. Like, we're playing outside, and we got space heaters in between songs, like heating up our hands. But we started playing at Jughead's like fucking almost every weekend for like a year. It just, we were always at Jughead's. Wow. But we had some cool shows there. We played with Total Chaos there, Morning Glory, and I don't know the fuck else. We joked about almost being the house band at Jughead's because we were there like at least 4 times a month at Jughead's.
That was your spot.
Yeah, because I mean they never said no.
Yeah.
So
I remember just playing a lot of shitty venues for a while. I mean, we didn't have to play shitty venues for as long as other people said they had to play shitty venues.
Right.
Like, because Yucca's a good venue. You know what I mean?
Venue.
And then like the Rogue wasn't like a bad venue. You just have to like had to have some pull. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was hard to get people there.
I don't know why, because like they had a pretty good stage setup and stuff.
They absolutely did.
I was really surprised that they didn't have like bigger outcomes at more shows.
I agree.
Because it was a beautiful place. I mean, for what it was, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And a very intimate venue, usually pretty good sound. But yeah, it's I like playing venues like that. And then we were playing like rented out like strip mall places that was a church or something like that when we first started. And like they're like, yeah, you can set up your gear in the back and then pull it out. And we went to the back, and it was like where the like Sunday school happens. So there's like toys everywhere. I'm like, I don't feel right about this. Really,
Indoctrinate the kids.
yeah, like I don't know what's going on right now.
Right.
But like, no one do blow off these dolls, maybe, or anything like that. But it was. I remember those shows, and they were fun. They were fun, and then it's just that one next better show, like the Rogue Bar when you're starting to get on.
Absolutely.
You know, you have a sound guy, that's great, and like you got your amp mic'd, like, oh my god,
Right.
like here we go.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's funny. You started church. I remember like in the early to mid 2000s that got really popular. A lot of churches would have punk shows trying to appeal or get like the counterculture into their fucking, into their pews on Sunday. So it was, hey, we're going to have this show and we're going to raise money to build a half pipe. And it was like, all right, so we're skating for Jesus now. And that was pretty popular for a few years with the churches. I remember that.
Oh, man. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Good to see you, dude.
Salud.
I haven't seen you in so long.
I know, dude.
I don't even know how to talk to people anymore. It's terrible.
It's a funny story, actually. It's interesting. I just saw Facebook memory not so long ago show that it was Nothington, you guys, us, and
Dude,
No Gimmick.
Yes,
a
that
phenomenal
was
show, right?
such a great show. I got so fucked up that show.
I remember, and I need to thank you for something, actually, because you indirectly, without knowing it, lit my fire again that night.
Really?
And I'm going to tell you. So, like, when you've been in a band a long time, you get in those lulls where like you're fucking phoning it in. Sometimes it happens, And for a couple years, I was just like, "Fuck, dude, I'm just not feeling this anymore. Just not feeling this anymore." And we were on the way to the show. Just got my gear from the studio, and you guys were fairly new then.
Yeah, we were. That was a really big deal for us. We were like, "What?"
And I love the shit out of you guys because I'd seen you like once or twice before. I was like, "Oh my god, these fucking guys are good," And I looked at Dawn, my wife, and I was like, "You know what? I'm not gonna let these fucking young bucks show us the fuck up, dude. The old men are gonna get down tonight." And like that night, dude, it reignited my fucking.
You guys were fun, man. You guys are a fun show.
And I went fucking ape shit that night. I mean, I paid for it for like the next 2 fucking days because I'm old. But I was like, you know what? This band is so fucking good. I love them so much. I'm not gonna let them show up the old man tonight. And it reignited my fire, and I've had it back ever since. So thank you indirectly for doing that for me,
dude. I can't even take credit for that.
Yeah, you can.
You should really be thanking Elliot Diggs and Freddie Bedoya. Dude, I got really lucky meeting these guys for sure. Met them both by complete chance. I was living in a garage because I had nowhere else to live. I had lost like my car and my house within like 4 hours of just like people saying like,
Jesus Christ.
it was terrible. Yeah. I had to start from scratch. So I was like living in a garage for $200 a month. And then I would walk like 4 miles to work, get off at 3 a.m. from this kitchen and walk 4 miles back.
Damn, bro.
Yeah. And it was a party house. So I was like, all right, I'm going to get fucking sick if I like live in this. So
Right.
I started cleaning it up, and I went to go move shit into what I thought was a spare bedroom. And we had like this big ass TV that didn't even work anymore that was out there for like to put beer on.
Right.
And so we were like, let's just move it somewhere the fuck else. And so I was moving it, and I went to go kick over this fucking pile of blankets. I was like, let's just put it in this corner. I went to go kick it, and I kicked Elliot Diggs right in the ass. And he goes, oh, what's up, dude? I'm Elliot. I live here. And
He's squatting under a pile of blankets.
dude, I was like, oh shit, I didn't know anyone lived in this room. It was like, moved in last night. It's like, what the fuck? So I just started playing music around the house and shit, and I didn't know we played music. So I was playing our Song by People. I was like kind of writing it still.
Yeah.
And I stopped. I was like, I got to rewrite. Like, I like had said it under my breath. I'm like, I got to rewrite that. And he's like, you wrote that? And I was like, yeah. He's like, really? And I was like, yeah. He's like, come with me. So I go into his room that has no furniture except for the blankets in the corner. And this dude pulls out 7 guitars, a drum kit, like a computer with a few monitors and Pro Tools on
Jesus
it,
Christ.
a big old soundboard, a bunch of pedals he made. And he was like, we're going to start a band.
Wow.
And I showed him a few things that I kind of written, and then we started writing together. He originally played drums, like when we started.
Yeah.
And we were like, how are we going to play out? I'm like, we just won't play out, and we'll just put out dope songs. You know what I mean?
Right.
We'll just like stay under the radar. And I went to my cousin's 22nd birthday, I think it was. And I'd had my guitar with me because I came from another party, and I broke 4 strings on it. So I had a 2-string guitar there, and I like put it in the corner, and a bunch of like my sister was there, and like my family friends, and they're like, you should really talk to this guy Freddie. He plays drums. I'm like, all right, like I'll talk to him or whatever. And he's like, hey, how's it going, man? I'm like, I heard you play guitar. I'm like, yeah. He's like, is that yours? And it was like this one.
Yeah.
Like
with 2 strings,
with 2 strings on it. I'm like, yeah, I take music pretty seriously, you know? And we didn't take each other really that seriously, you know, when we were talking that night. And we ended up getting super fucked up together, like spooning, like passed out on like the couch the next day. And my Uncle Scott came down and was making breakfast and stuff. We were the like only ones there, and like just went up and we had a headache at the bar, and my uncle was making us breakfast. I was like, so yeah, dude, I'm trying to start a band. I got this dude who's pretty badass. You want to give it a whirl? He's like, how about Thursday? I was like, yeah, let's just do it. He came over, and that was it.
That was it.
It was pretty wild. It was crazy how everything worked out.
Yeah.
And we had so much to write about back then. We were so poor.
Oh,
and
Jesus Christ. You know, that good for you though. You kept pushing, man.
Yeah.
So you're not living in a garage, but you and Elliot, that was like meant to be. That was
dude,
fate.
we could write together forever. Like me and him, if we get an idea, if we look at The Color Purple, like
Right.
if we anything like that, we've just always been like that. We had chemistry, and
That's good to have someone like that.
I was
as a
really
partner.
lucky. He's so talented.
Yeah. Doesn't he drum in another band too?
Yeah, he plays guitar in Brain Zap now. He used to drum for them, but now he plays lead guitar, which is super badass. If you ever get a chance to see Brain Zap with Kevin, Oscar, Elliot on lead guitar, like that is the shit.
What are you in, like painting fences or some shit too?
He often plays in painting fences. I don't know if he's like completely in there, but he plays for them a lot.
Yeah.
He also plays with Moons, Bears, and Moths.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
they're really. I'm gonna say their name all wrong, but they're a really good watch for sure. Really good listen. He's just involved in anything he gets his hands on. It seems
Yeah.
like he's always been that guy. He plays guitar, mandolin, bass, drums, harmonica.
Fuck him.
Like, yeah, exactly. Fuck that guy. But don't go nowhere either.
Right. Exactly.
But we've managed to get together. You know, anytime we say we're gonna do something, we do it, and we're locked up, and we were like, let's write a single, and
Yeah.
that's where the last single came from.
It's so fucking good.
Thank you, man.
It was so
I
good.
appreciate it.
I was stunned, like when you posted the video first. I was like, God damn, this is really fucking good, man.
Dude, Jeremy really killed it. Jeremy, recorded it.
You did a Cosmic.
Let us use the studio and everything for the video and stuff. His new studio's rad.
Yeah, he's got a nice little setup there now.
It's nice.
Yeah.
It's really, really dope. I like what he's got going on there. It used to be an old AM radio station is what I heard.
Yeah, there was when I went down to get a camera to film our Black Lives Matter set for that whole thing, he was taking me around. I was like, shit, bro, you definitely stepped up from your house to this place, man.
Yeah, dude. I'm glad he came out for episode 1 too. He gave us like a really cool conversation on that for sure.
Nice.
Just like how he started and like where it is now, and him and him, Billy and Gio and Meatbag, like they were some of the dudes too that it's the little things. I can't remember what show we were at, but once it was over, they're like, we're gonna go back and to Jeremy's to like at the Cosmic Soup to listen to the Lead Balloon, and ever since then I've known those guys. You know what I mean?
Right.
I went back over, I went over there that night, and like we hung out forever, just bullshit and listening to music, and
Great guys too.
yeah, super great guys.
Meatbag's another one of those. Fuck him.
Dude, that
That
guy's
great
an
drummer,
animal.
great
Yeah.
guitar fucker can sing. It's like, dude.
There's rumors he's gonna have a pretty dope acoustic album coming out. I heard.
That's what I heard too.
I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
I'm really, really stoked.
I was
about
happy
it.
for him. He got the Franks and Dean's gig. That's cool as hell.
Dude, that's super
Yeah,
dope.
good for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that's talk about keeping the dream. Like, oh man, I love seeing people do shit right now.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's more than ever. You know what I mean? Like you'd always be stoked to see someone like on a show, But like now, like more than ever, if they're just like doing something, I think it's a bigger deal than it used to be.
I agree. And in general, like something a couple years ago I was talking about, I forgot with who, was I remember like the mid to late 90s punk scene in Phoenix was like vibrant. Like fucking there wasn't a lot of venues. So and all locals only, like in the basement of the Nile, would fucking just pack out, you know? People would just come from all over the valley. It didn't matter. And then like the mid 2000s, it got very metal and the punk scene was kind of just hanging on. And so people got really competitive with each other.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, hey, all for one for all, as cliche as that is. And I was like, fuck, this kind of sucks. But then, you know, over the last 10 years or so, it's gotten more like everybody's like lifting each other up again and shit. And it's good to see.
You think it's been the last 10 years? I mean, when I came in, it was just already supportive. Like I jumped into the best thing I could have ever jumped in, you know?
Yeah, you got lucky. Because that middle 2000s, it fucking sucked, dude. Everybody was just too competitive and like, this is my perspective on it anyway, just bitter when another band achieved anything and stuff. And I was so glad that went away because I was used to that mid to late 90s where everybody was just cool with everybody, and then it went away. I was like, wait, what the fuck is this? Like, I don't remember this. Why is this happening? But luckily that shit went away and it got supportive again.
Have you seen any sort of like venues maybe shift like that? Like were venues one way before and like something else now? Or I guess before everything shut down. Let's go with that. Like, because the vibe of a venue can really be something. There's a huge. Yeah, there's what is it? The Timeout Lounge. It's across the street from the Yucca.
Yep.
2 different places to see great bands, but like huge different vibe each
Huge
time
different
you go.
vibes.
Like huge different vibe. And I'm
Yep.
not gonna say which one I like more. But
I already know which one you like more.
But have you seen venues like evolve for the better in your time being in?
Well, yeah, I mean, fucking when the Rebel was the Mason Jar stage had a big hole, like stage right, covered with carpet. So I remember my old band, I was sitting there playing and jumping around, and like my foot almost went through the damn thing, and I was like,
oh shit.
And then, you know, Steve gets it, and it's fucking genius. It's brilliant now. It's clean. It doesn't smell like fucking herpes when you walk in the door. And the sound's great there. And so that building has gotten better, but a lot of that has to do with the person who bought that building and changed it. I think over the years, the Yucca has gotten stronger. You know, it's not to put this huge thing on, but like basically now it's our CBGBs. You know what I mean? The Yucca. I mean that's where you go. Like friends and bands from out of state, like when they contact me, they're like, "Can you get us at the Yucca? We want to play the Yucca." And I'm like, well, I can try, but it depends, you know. But, oh, yeah, we want to play the Yucca. So,
have you been booking for a while?
Years ago, like when the band first started, I booked a lot more, but I got sick of fucking, like, bands literally canceling on me like an hour before their set and shit.
Ooh.
So now, like, I'll occasionally do it if it's, like, friends from out of state or something like that. I'll do that. And, but, yeah, booking's a pain in the ass. That's why I was like, fuck, dude, I'm done with doing that a lot.
I'm impressed with the people that do book. You
Yeah,
know?
so am I.
I've also seen people who do book, though, almost fall off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
And disappear.
Yeah.
Right before some of us need answers.
Exactly.
And I don't know what's scarier.
I know, right?
That's frightening.
Especially when you're somebody that has a reputation, is known, is this. You see them everywhere. They were responsible for all these huge shows, and wait, where the fuck are they?
Wonder what kind of I can't even understand what kind of pressure that is, though.
I think we know who we're talking about.
I think we know who too. Yeah, but that was, you know, an incident like that is very bizarre. It's
and it's sad.
It is
very sad.
It's crazy to, you know, how deep do you dive into your scene till it makes you snap,
right?
You know, because I don't know, there are a lot of dope ass people in the scene for sure.
There is.
And then I've seen a few people go down this crazy ass road. They're like, I'm punker than you. Like, prudence. And then they're fucking up shit on stage. They're fucking, you know what I mean? I'm like, at what point? I'm like, damn. He's like, I've heard people say, like, I have no shame in what I've done and whatever and blah, blah. I'm like, damn. I'm like, that's brave.
Yeah.
You know, to
to be so arrogant, to say I don't have shame in what I've done when you've done some shameful shit that you should apologize for and fucking own.
It's crazy, man. You know, like rather you be an artist, rather you be a fan or whatever, you know, I wonder where, you know, because I came into punk after it kind of evolved because it was very violent.
Oh,
in
yeah.
the 80s and 90s and
whatever. Oh, the 80s especially.
Yeah, the 80s especially. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially after listening to, you know, I listen to some documentaries or whatever. I try to learn from the greats. And they say what what that kind of scene was and to what it is now and how things grew up. And a lot of these guys are parents and fathers. You're a father.
I am.
How does that work out for you? Like, that's got to be one of the toughest things to balance out.
What's interesting, something that hurts my heart is people I've known that are so fucking talented, and the minute they get married and have kids, they think they've got to stop.
Right.
And it's like, you don't have to fucking stop. There's 24 hours a day. You can balance this shit, you know? And if it's not your job that's supporting your family and putting your kids through college, it's pretty fucking easy to balance.
Right.
You fucking balance it. You make it work. You have to be very regimented, and there has to be a routine so you can make it all work. But you can fucking do it. You know, my oldest is almost 12, so I've been doing that for 12 years, you know?
Absolutely.
The thing that fucking got to me was I can't remember how many years ago. We just got done. I think we were playing with like DI or something at fucking the original Club Red.
Oh, dude, I played the original Club Red
great.
when I was like 17, 8. There was one point where they lifted the stage finally.
Yeah.
Like, it used to be like a really short stage. Go on. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I remember
We
those
played
days.
the grand reopening, too, with Authority Zero at the new place. That was fucking off the charts when you're playing in front of 1,000 fucking people. And it's like, holy shit. But anyway, so the DI show, I think it was the DI show. It was a show that was huge. It was packed. We were in the pocket. It was one of those, you know, when you're in the pocket, you tell in the first 30 seconds of your set, fuck, we're hitting it. We're hitting it. And like, I was still riding high the next morning, you know, like, oh, fucking rock star. And my kids are like, yeah, fucking shut up, make us breakfast. I'm like, but daddy was just on stage, like, killing it. Like, I'm not your chef, god damn it. I'm punk rock, motherfucker. But no, you're dad. You're dad. They don't give a fuck. You're dad.
That's crazy, man. That frightens me.
And no, it's cool though. It's cool because you do have those moments, even when you're just a local band. There are those moments that can make your head big. It happens, you know. Like fucking one night you get asked for a couple autographs. Like, oh fuck, all right, yeah, this is badass. You know, I'm bad. I'm giving autographs. And then you know your kids are like, hey, change my shitty diaper, fuckhead. Yeah, it grounds you.
Are your daughters? So you have daughters, right?
Yeah.
How many?
I have 2 daughters, and then I have 4 stepkids. I have twin daughters that are my stepdaughters, and then 2 stepsons.
Do you have a private school too, or like what the fuck?
No, they're all great kids too. They're all fucking great. I was blessed with that. Like all my kids are fucking fantastic.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, super cool.
That's super dope. Yeah, you know, a lot of people that I look up to in the scene, like yourself, Dave, Chris, and like a lot of these guys are great fathers too. It's fantastic to see. It's John from Brian Cooper's Ghost.
Right.
He's definitely someone I look up to strongly. Talking about a guy that made it in his craft and still does what he loves and has awesome kids. I love those kids, and I think it's so crazy that so many of us write songs about destruction. And I see you guys try to mold something so beautiful, you know. Right. What is that line? Like, what is that like?
Luckily, the mother of my kids, of my 2 daughters, is very we share a lot of like-mindedness in certain arenas. So we've co-parented fantastically. And we've raised our kids like, hey, you know, be respectful, be good human beings, but fucking question shit. And don't judge anybody based on, you know, race, color, creed, sexuality, and shit like that. And like my 11-year-old she just recently told me that she's pansexual. I'm like, fucking right on. I wish we were all pansexual, make the world a better place when you just love the person, fuck their gender, who cares? Just love the person. I'm like, and it's cool to see my kids just screaming, like when they see Trump bumper stickers and flags, they're like, Daddy, cuss him out, fucking cuss him out. And I'm like, all right, I'll roll the window down, fuck you. They're very aware. So it's cool. And it's daunting too, because you're also like, fuck, I'm in charge of this vessel. And I can fill it up with anything. I can fill it up with love. I can fill it up with hate. Or I can tell it to go fuck itself. Or I can do the right thing and put out a decent human being that hopefully touches a life or two.
Were you scared with your first one?
I was terrified because I couldn't take care of myself.
Because you had been, you hit 15th anniversary for the band, and your oldest is 12?
I was like 30 years old when she was born. I was just shy of 31.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I wasn't in the best headspace. I was so stoked when she was born. Like there's a picture of me holding her in the hospital when she was born. It's like one of my favorite pictures. When I look at it, it still chokes me up and brings tears to my eyes because just the undying love of me looking at this thing like, oh my fucking God, But then it was like, what can I teach her? Like, I'm a fucking mess. I'm a wreck. I'm barely alive. What can I give her? And it scared me because I don't want to fuck her up because she didn't ask to be born. It's not fair if I fuck her up. So I kind of fucked up for the first few months to a year and then fucking snapped to out of nowhere and got my shit together and was like, all right, it's fucking dad time. And that was it. And ever since then, so.
Being the first 2 years, so that's like the first 2 years of you just starting the band, right? Or so, the first 2 or 3 years.
Right.
Were you just immediately trying to find that balance, or was the band even a thought to you at that point?
Oh yeah. That was where I was having trouble, is because I was not balancing it properly. I was too much about the band and not enough about accepting fatherhood right away, like I should have. Luckily, that phase didn't last long. Like I said, I fucking finally snapped to, and it was not drastically long after she was born. But it's one of those things, I still kind of have guilt for that because, even it was just a number of months, it was still a number of months that I wasn't as present as I should have been. But at least I got there. And, I've compensated and made up for it now. So
absolutely. And, especially when she's still so young.
Yeah. So great. The good thing is she doesn't know about that part. And, if she ever asks about it for some reason when she's old enough to understand, I'm also not going to lie to her and be like, yeah, your daddy was a fuck up in the beginning. But, I got it together.
Absolutely. So that's absolutely insane. Like I said, that just how you guys can find this common ground to kind of put out some of the most destructive shit,
Yeah.
How you can fuck shit up and then go right back. How did that affect your writing? Was there an age, actually? I want to ask this. Was there an age where it's like, oh, this is awesome? Wasn't she when she was 8 or 10, or at least your first?
Oh, she's always been awesome.
Really?
Always been fucking awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Me and her had a really special fucking bond.
I saw you guys at, I remember I think it was the second or third time, but you guys were at Club Red, and she was there with her headphones on.
TSOL.
Yes, TSOL.
That was the first time she saw us. Then her and my other daughter got to see us, was it October, November of 19 with Teenage Bottle Rocket at Pub Rock.
That's awesome.
And my youngest, who's 8 now, she was up on the barricade like, Daddy, fucking throwing hands up. So because my youngest, oh my God, she's amazing too. Now me and her got this cool bond, but she's fucking destructive.
Really?
Yeah.
Does that worry you?
No, I like it because she's not going to take shit. Someone tries to fuck with her, 5 pounds of pressure will rip a nutsack off and she'll do it, So
it's terrifying.
For them. Don't fuck with my kid. You'll be all right.
Dude, so I was listening to this today, and this is really riffy. I know this is like a complete, that's not a segue at all, but I was just like looking at it, and this was a really, really dope riffy album. Can you tell us a little bit about the guitar work?
Fucking Travis, our bass player, actually wrote all the riffs to Help Wanted, Opinions Provided, and Second Wind. Fucking Matt, our lead guitar player, came in. We had Fall in Line like done and laid out. It was like, we need a riff. We need a fucking riff in that. And then like the next rehearsal, he comes in, he goes, I got something. He starts playing. I was like, motherfucker, that's like a Motorhead riff. Like that's just got a Motorhead feel to it. I was like, fuck yeah. And then the cool thing with having Jason in the band now is he's a writer too. So Ill Condition, he fucking wrote. Like he had a verse and a chorus, and then about 75% or the majority of the music written from years before is something he had just been setting on. And he brought it to us, and then I finished writing the lyrics. I wrote another verse and a bridge, and we finished that one. And I was like, fuck, dude, we got a drummer that writes. That's fucking cool, you know?
That's awesome.
And then Punk Rock Love Song, that's... I wrote the lyrics, didn't have any music, sent Matt the lyrics, and then the next rehearsal he came in and had the music, and that's my love letter to punk rock when I was 12 years old, visiting family in Texas, and I'm out with my cousin at a pawn shop, and we're going through CDs, and I see this band, Citizen Fish. I was like, fuck, that's a crazy name. I'm going to buy this. I don't know what the fuck it is. So I buy Citizen Fish. It was a Wider Than a Postcard album. Get back to the house, put it on, and like what came out of the speakers, I was like, what the fuck? You can do this? Like, holy shit, you don't got to be virtuosos to make music. You just fucking got to be badass. And then that was it. 12 years old, fucking sent me on my fucking mission.
Yeah, I was probably right around there, but I was in 5th grade.
Yeah.
And I went and saw Pennywise open up for Social Distortion at Edgefest.
Fuck yeah.
It was over.
Yeah,
it was
right?
absolutely over. Like after Pennywise was like, closing out with Broheim, and you hear thousands of people. I was like, this is it. This is all I want to do, one way or another. Such a good show. Oh man, I just wanted it all to come back.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know. I have high hopes, but I think we're just all gonna have to be patient.
I think you and I need to do fucking something sometime.
Dude,
a song, dude. Our styles mesh so
we're
fucking
down
well.
because our drummer is gone on boot camp right now. So we're just trying to stay active. Like we have a few ideas of just some fun stuff that we're gonna put out as far as footage and maybe a little acoustic set. Maybe I really want to hit up. I got a chance to jam with someone in Morgan's Bluff who played accordion.
Nice.
And we were like, I showed him a few rundown songs and stuff. I was like, maybe we can make some really dope footage. Or I'm thinking a lot more footage lately. I think visual content is going to be
needs to be seen.
Absolutely everything. I think visual. CJ, did you bring up that FOL video? I saw you had it up earlier, but I think that visual content is absolutely everything.
It's vital right now.
Oh yeah.
Because what's everybody doing right now?
Yeah, just give me another second and I'll pull it right back up.
Yeah, I know you had it up earlier, but I want to look at it a little bit. I don't know, man. It's because the intimacy is gone now. Like
it's totally gone.
The intimacy is absolutely gone, and I think more than we think now. Like we're having a hard time dealing with it.
Yeah. And now it's at this point, early on it was scary and fuck. Okay, got it. And it's drug on so long now, and it's still absolutely scary. But at the same time, it's fucking irritates. Like, fuck you. You're my nemesis. This invisible fucking, virus that can kill us. You're my fucking nemesis. Fuck you. You're fucking everything up.
Fucking everything up.
And it's just getting frustrating.
It is getting frustrating. And it doesn't take much work to play a show. Yes, you should practice. Sometimes you fucking don't, but you're going to play that show.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's going to go one way or the other, but you're going to go play that show.
Yeah.
And I think it's hard to have that commitment to anything right now. We are committed to nothing.
I know.
I'll be honest, I don't want to practice as often. How often do I want to practice old songs when I'm not playing them for anybody right now?
I know.
And I want to write more, but I don't feel like writing. But this right here, this is
was fantastic.
a great idea. Like,
I mean, you know, and it doesn't hurt like Dave Schultz's eye candy.
oh yeah, look at him. Look at
him all
he's got his
svelte.
own GoPro. Like,
Then he got a Paul McCartney bass too.
does he really?
I don't fucking know.
Oh, I don't know. What is that, a little LTD or something like that? He has a shirt of macaroni. For anyone listening right now and not watching, we are watching FOL do their. They played a whole practice from shortest song to longest song. While in each song they took a hot or hot sauce. I don't know if they have a name. Is there a name for this challenge yet, Austin?
It's the Pepper Pyramid Challenge.
The Pepper Pyramid Challenge.
I thought it was genius when I saw they were doing this. I was like, this is a fucking good idea. It's
Dude,
really good.
it's fantastic, man. When I saw that, this is something it brought joy to my heart again.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like I was like kind of seeing something very special from a band,
Right.
and that's what I think a lot of people are missing out on. And bands don't necessarily know how to give since they are not there in person.
Right.
It's so challenging to be unique and to, I don't know, touch that part of your soul again.
And early on in this pandemic, you could fucking just put a camera in front of you and live stream just, you know, because it was the beginning and people just wanted to see some live shit, but it's been going so long now. You're right. You got to do something that makes people want to fucking tune in
Yeah.
to what you're streaming.
I want to watch Jason DeFore do this. Like, even if he just did an acoustic set.
I want to watch him fucking do it and then fucking have to sing Rattling Bog right after, like Scorpion Pepper and then Rattling Bog.
Dude, oh man. The last show I saw, and it was days, hours before the pandemic.
Right.
I saw him play with his new band, the Deadlies.
Dude, they're so fucking good.
Oh man, it was fantastic. They were over at Tim Finnegan's on 59th and Bell.
Yeah.
I was in crutches at the time, but Jason's such an awesome guy. So what's
yeah.
up and whatever, and I had a great time. And then because it was supposed to be a St. Patty's Day weekend.
Yeah.
And I think I saw them on a Friday, and then it was Saturday the next day. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just go grab dinner up there. You know, who knows what the news is saying? It was a ghost town.
Yeah.
It was wild. I was like, this is for real, for real.
I don't remember when the first shit first hit and they shut down, dude. Like just going out in your car to go to Circle K and it was like barren, and you're like, dude, am I gonna get fucking kidnapped or something right now? Like it was eerie as shit, man.
We live in a pretty busy part over here, kind of in
Yeah.
the Glendale area. But me and my roommate went to go grab Hawaiian barbecue one day. We had to wait outside, and we looked at Bell Road, and there was nothing.
Yeah.
And to
Bell Road,
see
think of that.
Bell Road empty, like what the actual fuck
Just
is going on?
tumbleweeds.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that was eerie. I was like, do you hear that, CJ? What? Exactly.
Sound of silence.
The
Dude,
sound.
like, it was just a huge parking lot, and like there's just no cars anywhere, and there's just nobody shopping around or doing anything.
Yeah, it
We
was
live across the
fucking
street
eerie.
from a mall.
I
Like,
know, right? It was fucking eerie, dude. It was, yeah. I remember like the first time I went in the grocery store after everything shut down, and like no one would look at anybody. Everybody just had their heads down, like,
oh yeah.
okay, you're all fucking infected, and I'm just trying to get my provisions and get home without fucking dying. You know, it was weird. It was very Mad Max like.
Yeah. I mean, I really like seeing outside dining. I know everyone feels some kind of way about it, but I really like it.
And I think a lot of people that have even been very, very hardcore about it, you know, which is very good. After a while, it's like, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna loosen up a little bit and do a patio dining and shit, you know, as long as
Yeah.
you make sure you have your distance and stuff. Because we're fucking humans. We gotta fucking have interaction of some sort. I mean,
We're going to go crazy. A lot of
Yeah.
us are going crazy.
I know.
A lot of
That's
us
what
are
I
going
feel bad
crazy.
is people that already have mental health issues and are dealing with this, like ones that are dealing with it alone. And it's like, fuck, man.
I spent $7,000 on a podcast that has 12 subscribers. I'm freaking out.
We got to juice those numbers up, dude. We got to get those numbers up. We'll get them up.
Honestly, if I get this kind of high right here, like it's honestly
It's all worth it,
I
right?
just miss these conversations, man. We
I
used to
know.
talk like this in the parking lot.
I know.
You know what I mean? And
saw that picture not too long ago where I dared you to fucking cradle me because I didn't.
I
think
told you I could,
I
boy.
was like, this motherfucker like cradled me.
no.
And then it was like, then I got bummed. I was like, oh, we can't do anything. Fuck.
That's illegal now.
I know, right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So this is the band camp right here, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah. You guys want to buy an album, all you people out there in podcast land, $15, $5 shipping. And if it goes over $5 shipping, we pay that shit. So fuck you.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, I met you. I think it was the second album that you guys put out.
Yeah, that was Mitch from Black Thoughts, and then he's been in a bunch of bands. He recorded that one, the one before this.
That was when I first got really in, like, that's when I met you guys. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And man, that Nothington show.
That was a great fucking show, man.
Dude, I'm a fan of the band for sure. So like to play that show was definitely absolutely like obscure and just wild for like what happened. Like, all right, this is your 5th show.
That was only your 5th show?
Probably. You know what I mean? Like our 5th, like maybe our 2nd real show.
I
or
saw
something
when
like that.
your 1st or 2nd show then, like before that, and I remember like, oh shit. I like these motherfuckers. Like Tyler's right up the alley. Like he's got that rancid fucking influence. He's got that voice that I fucking, and we have very similar influences.
That's exactly why I asked you to be on that fucking EP.
Yeah, that was fun to do. That was fun to write that verse too. I like that verse.
Yeah, I hope that's something else I really hope for. Like listen, you can get a negative COVID test. I have to get them often. You know, like that's kind of why I'm doing like certain things here and
my last one was negative too.
Yeah, like I try to be very aware of where I'm at, in my workplace.
Of course,
I gotta get tested, and these things happen. But I always come up negative and try to make sure everything is clean here and what we can do, and one-on-one conversations with all of us spread out seem to just be the best option right now to the closest thing I can get to where I used to talk with 8 of you in the parking lot.
I know. Fuck, I miss the Yucca parking lot. The camaraderie of the Yucca parking lot.
I'm trying to make it this. Like, you know what I mean?
This has been great.
Yeah, it's been a really, really awesome time. Pat, where can we find Reason Unknown? Where can we find everything?
Facebook.com /
Probably.
/ Reason Unknown. Hit us up on Instagram, whatever the fuck that is. We're Reason Unknown Band on Instagram or Bandcamp and Spotify and iTunes and BestBuy.com.
You're on BestBuy.com?
I don't fucking know. I'm just throwing out .coms. And DebbieDoesDallas.org. Yeah, I don't know. Anybody that wants to check out the record, we fucking certainly appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoy it.
Nothing left but this. Awesome fucking record, man.
And aside from us, check out Rundown Roommates. You guys will not be disappointed.
You might be. But anyways, thank you for coming on, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
I love you so much.
Love you too, bro.
Thank you guys for coming to check out this whatever. My name is Tyler Silva. Bye-bye, everybody.
Yeah, the rundown with Silva. Rundown with Silva. The run.